I'm Matt from the Motorhome Matt podcast, and I'm delighted to see you all here. And I'm really, really delighted to welcome Amy and Dan to join us this afternoon, talking about juggling part-time, full-time van love. Can you give them, please, a big Campout welcome? Amy and Dan. And the kids.
Well, thank you for that. And I'm glad that I've remembered to pick up my microphone. So, for those of you that don't know me, and I feel like most of you probably do, my name is Amy. This is Dan and Sienna. She is our 11-year-old, but she started van life when she was 6. And this is
Savannah, and I started van life when I was 4, and I'm 9.
And she's 9 now, but she started van life when she was 4. So together, we make up the van life family. We have travelled, and we continue to travel extensively throughout the UK and mainland Europe in our campervans, because we've had a couple now. The only one that is not on stage with us this afternoon is our furry, 4-legged friend, Luna, our cockapoo, who is currently, well, hopefully, sleeping in the campervan. We travel everywhere together, and not only together, but with you guys too, with lots of you. Sorry. First time I've done this. But we also organise the Van Fam Tribe community, and we bring together hundreds of like-minded families from all over the UK together at in-person meetups like this one. This is our 5.0 meetup, whoop whoop. And also thousands of families online through social media. So we are going to be talking a little bit more about the community, how that has grown, why lots of you are all here today, and the future of that. But we're also going to be talking about us personally as Van Life family. We're going to be talking about how we balance our full-time adventures, our full-time life, and working on the road. We're also going to be talking about how we plan family-friendly road trips that include our dog Luna, because as I've already said, she comes everywhere with us. And then there'll be an opportunity for questions at the very end. If you don't know us, lots of you already do, but if you don't, you can find us over on Instagram at Van Life Family. Scan the QR code below and it will take you directly there. So, this is us. We travel approximately 16 weeks throughout the year. We balance our businesses, we balance the girls going to mainstream schools, and we also are actively involved in our friends' and our families' lives and vice versa. This journey hasn't happened overnight for us. It has definitely taken time, and that time actually started back in 2019. When Savannah was just 4. She was heading to school later on that year, and I had thoroughly enjoyed balancing part-time teaching and being a full-time parent at home with my children. And when my baby was about to fly the nest, I had a bit of a breakdown, to be perfectly honest. I really appreciated and valued that quality time together that we had as the girls grew up. And when both of them were going to be in school, I felt like that our family time was going to be jeopardized. We weren't going to have that quality experiences and time together. And my mental health took a real decline during that time. And I randomly suggested, out of literally nowhere, oh, hello, what's going on there? I'll let you sort that. I'm probably pressing buttons without knowing it. But I randomly suggested anyway about converting and buying a camper van, which was totally out of the blue for us because we had never been in a camper van or motorhome. We didn't even know anyone with a camper van or motorhome. We hadn't grown up with vans or anything like that. So it was a really random suggestion that just randomly popped into my very strange brain. Anyway, fortunately, as I was talking about it with Dan, he jumped straight on board. Anybody that knows Dan, you just dive straight in. But before I even knew it, we'd bought a panel van, an ex-Sky van, and he'd sourced somebody to convert it for us. We wanted the conversion done super quickly. As I've said, we wanted to prioritize that time together as a family, and the conversion took 6 weeks, and we were on the road. This is our van. I remember the converter sending over a picture. It just had its windows in, and the alloys were just to figure it out what kind of look we were going for. But we were super excited at that stage. So we had a really amazing time. The Campervan gave us everything that we hoped that it would, and absolutely more. It really helped me mentally focus on planning exciting adventures together that we could embark on as a family, and we got that quality time that I was looking for. And actually, it not only improved my mental health significantly, but also I could see the impact on Dan, who was, always busy, always working. Taking that time out regularly that we could with our van really supported him, and we could see that with our girls. And we grew together, we had an amazing time. But then, obviously, 2020 happened, and we all know what happened then. Not only our lives changed, but the rest of the world changed overnight as the pandemic crept along. And I know it sounds super dramatic now, knowing what we know, but at that time, in the very early days of the pandemic, we lived in genuine fear every single day, because Dan lives with a chronic lung condition. So he is prone to picking up pneumonia, chest infections overnight. So the thought of contracting coronavirus was not something that we wanted to take the risk with. So basically, we lived in complete fear, total isolation. But obviously, we grew through, all of us together, we all grew through that time, and things changed. And we realized that life was actually just too short. We needed to seize the day and do some of those things that we've always wanted to do. Or these are crazy ideas that I've always had in my head. So I suggested, let's travel full time in our VW T5. All 4 of us and the dog, let's go. Let's leave our family, let's leave our friends, let's leave our houses, let's leave my job. I applied for a sabbatical, it was declined for various different reasons, so I actually just handed in my notice and we went. And it was the best. It was amazing to have all of that time stretched out in front of us, planning the day, planning the week, planning the month. The feeling of being on the road with all of that time ahead of you is just unparalleled to anything else that we've experienced. The freedom, the adventure, it was just wonderful. Obviously, we are traveling with a dog and 2 children, so it's not without its stresses. I was homeschooling them. I use that term very loosely. Road schooling them, whatever you want to call it. And of course, there are the chores that you get with having in a van, having the children. And obviously, we were traveling in our VW T5, so beds up, pop up, roof up, it was a constant juggle. During that time, we lost a very close member of our family. My grandma, unfortunately, passed away when we were traveling full time. And I guess you could say that was kind of another wake-up call for us. We felt torn between living this life that we'd created, this full-time life, without, I want to say responsibilities, really, because it was just us. So we didn't have to worry, we didn't have to think about anyone else. We weren't really, I say this to you guys because my family are over here, we weren't really actively involved in their lives. They were just watching us on social media or the odd WhatsApp message, So we kind of felt out of the loop. And obviously the passing of my grandma changed things for us. It changed our perspective again. So we returned home. The girls, I reapplied for their school places so they attended the school that they once went to. Dan got back into your business. I didn't go back to teaching. I decided to see if I could build my business online. And now I make a living creating content, managing social media, all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah. So we decided to come home. We got back into normal life, but we knew that we needed to create a better balance, okay, so that we could get that quality time together that we loved when we first started van life in 2019, but we could spend more time with our family, and the girls, we could run our businesses and the girls could go to school. So we basically, Dan's business runs term time only, so that means that we can travel throughout the school holidays, and we're a little bit flexible with those school holidays, and we try and add a couple of days or a couple of weeks here and there when we can. And we were actually in the Republic of Ireland for 3 weeks. We were touring along the Wild Atlantic Way, and the weather is a little bit challenging for those of you. Hands up if you've been to the Republic of Ireland and driven the Wild Atlantic Way. My parents, and they only went because we went. But anyway, the weather can be quite wild, and it was in our VW T5. And we realized at that point that the van wasn't actually serving us, because we were struggling. I can remember it vividly. One evening, we were really struggling to find a park up that was sheltered from the wind. Those of you that with a pop-up, you'll understand what we mean. And it took us particularly a long time, and we just thought, do you know what, this isn't worth the hassle. We'd kind of like, not physically outgrown the van, but we felt that it was limiting the kind of adventures that we wanted to have. So, Dan being Dan, pretty much jumped on Auto Trader straight away, and within 2 weeks, we'd driven down to the New Forest and bought the Crafter. But this time, he was going to convert it himself. So that's what you did. And that's what we are camping in today. Now, through our travels, we have learnt that road trips are our thing. We love a road trip. Personally, we don't like to stay in one place for too long, so we liked maximum, absolutely maximum, is 3 nights for us. And that is if we're on a long 6-week, 7-week, 8-week adventure. And we have a little bit of downtime. 3 nights works for us, and then we like to move on. I guess maybe you could say that we've got itchy feet, but we just like to see what else is there. We like to see more of the country, more of the place, experience the variety that is out there. So road trips are our thing. I'm going to show you a quick video now to summarise.
In 2021, we removed our children from school, left our jobs, our house, and our friends and family to travel full-time in our VW T5 Campervan. We had the most amazing time and learned so much about ourselves, each other, and ultimately the life that we wanted to live together as a family. Eventually, we returned home. However, the life we live today is very different to the life we lived pre-2021. We had changed. Since then, we have converted a new campervan and gradually designed a life with more balance. Now we manage to combine life with epic road trips, prolonged periods of travel, which more recently has involved the girls and I flying out to meet Dan in the campervan, plus weekends away while spending quality time with family friends, working, running our own businesses, and our children attending mainstream schools.
Okay, so that's us. As I've already said, these are some of the key areas that we feel create that balance for us. We prioritise the school holidays. So as I've already said, Dan's business runs term time only. So we travel in all of the school holidays. We always know that we're going to be going away then. And we find that works for us. If we're not away that month, then we make sure that we've got, if it's not a half term or a holiday, then we make sure that we prioritise at least 1 weekend away every single month, so that we know that we've got that time together to go away. And we also prioritise at least a weekend a month with our family and our friends, so that we know that we've got something in the diary where we can connect with them at least once a month. Self-employment has been the biggest game changer for us. Dan is already, you may have realised from what I've already said, he is self-employed. He's ran his business since Sienna was 3 months old. He decided to go self-employed when she was a baby. And so he's his own boss. And for me, not returning to teaching and to working online has enabled us to have much more flexibility. So I can work remotely. I can take my work on the road wherever we are. And that works for us. We know that this might change, but for now, this balance works for us. We're flexible with our school holidays. As I've said, we have still a few days here and there, being creative, I like to call it, as much as we can with the amount of time that we have. And more recently, that has involved, for those of you that follow Van Life Family, us over on our Instagram channel. Channel? Is that even a thing? Anyway, it is now. We have recently done a road trip through Norway, up to the Lofoten Islands, and we didn't have enough time to borrow from the school calendar, if you like. So Dan drove, and the girls and I flew. We flew out to Oslo, and he left 5 days before and picked us up at the airport, which was rather nice, wasn't it, girls? They haven't been on an aeroplane since 2019, yet they've visited, was it 15 countries? Or 16, a lot anyway. So it just shows you what you can do in your vans. Obviously, we are continually adapting this. We are more than aware that our family and our children are growing, as we are, but this balance works for us right now.
Am I dreaming? Oh, I'm living in my dream.
Okay, so that was a little video from our most recent road trip, or van trip, whatever you want to call it. But that's our kind of style. That's what we like to do. And road trips, we love them. We hope that we support the Van Fam Tribe community and beyond with sharing our road trips and our experience and showing families what is possible through our social media channels. So when we, and I know that a few of you here, we have actually road tripped with, but when we are planning our road trips, we take a very flexible, let's say, approach. And we think about our time scale. So how long have we got? And if I'm looking at the beginning of the year, I know that I've got perhaps 6 weeks in the summer. Maybe I can make that 7 weeks or 8 weeks, maybe 2 months. We know that we can get 2 weeks at Easter. Maybe I can make that 3 weeks. We know that pretty much we're going to be crossing a body of water at some point because they're our longest periods of time. So where do we want to go during those times? And I start with kind of our biggest trips first, and then kind of think, well, where else do we want to go? Location-wise, you'd think, having travelled so much in our vans, that our list would be getting smaller. It is not. I'm sorry, it's getting bigger. And that is because we are getting braver. We are getting more experience, so we're travelling in our van, and we're thinking, right, well, we've done that. I reckon we could get there. Like, let's go there. Like, we are certainly talking about some crazy things. Like, I'm excited. But, so yeah, there's other places that we want to visit, completely new places, but there's also the other places that we've already been to. Like, we've been to Austria, Italy, Switzerland, lots of times, several times in our van before, but there are still areas within those countries that we haven't explored. So we want to go back to those too. So we take our inspiration from our community. We also take
In 2021, we removed our children
Hello.
from school, left our jobs, our house, and our friends and
Sorry, is that
family
me?
to travel.
Am I dreaming? Oh, I'm living in my dream.
Thank you. I'm obviously really good at this. But yeah, anyway, our location, we take our inspiration from our community, and there is loads of inspiration within the Van Fam Tribe community, and I thank you all for that. If you check out the Van Fam Tribe Instagram page, then I save all of the content that you guys share, or as much of it as I possibly can, in locations. So if you're at home thinking, well, where are we going to go? Like, what's possible? I don't even know. Check out the Van Fam Tribe Instagram page, because you will find loads of weekend trip ideas and bigger road trips, okay? Whatever, there's loads, a wealth of experience and information out there. So when we're planning our road trips, we do need to do a little bit of research. So we need to think about like whether the country or whether the place is going to be our vibe. Is there going to be enough for us to do? Things to see, like what do we like? Wildlife, for example, for Sienna. She loves a bit of nature. History for Savannah. So how can we incorporate that? Dan, what do you like? He just drives. He just agrees and just drives, I think. Wine, red wine. If there's any country that does good red wine, he's there. So yeah, we have to make sure that it's going to meet all of our needs and everything that we want, basically. But Dan will watch the YouTube videos. He loves a bit of YouTube. So he'll kind of maybe come back with some suggestions. I like a blog post. I also use Instagram a lot for looking for places, seeing which other van lifers have been in those areas. And I pin everything, like literally everything, on a Google map. We get the girls involved. Savannah loves to research the places that we're going. So she will have a look online, see if there's anything where places that she wants to go. And basically everything gets pinned on a Google map. If you're not using Google Maps, I'm looking at you, Joe. I saw him somewhere. Is he gone? And he's gone now. He was hiding in the back. But yeah, we taught him how to use Google Maps last summer when we were in Croatia together. And then when I've got all my pins on my map, I can basically see my route. I can figure that out. Right, okay, we're going to spend a week over there, a week over there, a week over here. It will take us best part of a week to get to there. That's how it works for us. We also need to consider Luna in all of this, because we need to consider what legal requirements do we need to think about for her with traveling with us. So, for example, does she have to wear a muzzle on public transport? Are we going to be going on public transport a lot? What is the country set up like? And also, how long is it going to take us to get there? Because if we're going to have to cross the water and it's going to take us anything over really 4 hours, we would like a pet-friendly cabin, because we don't like to leave her in the van for too long. So that's, if you're traveling with a dog, you need to book those cabins, particularly if you're traveling in the school holidays, you need to book those in advance. And I just then book our outward and our inward journeys. I know we're traveling out on this day, we're traveling on this day, I've got my Google map, and that's it. And off we go. Don't we, Dan? Don't we, Dan? They know us too well. So yeah, but you want me to talk about you guys now, don't you? Oh, no, I'm not talking about you guys now. I'm talking about me still. Hang on. So I'll rewind. All of the information that we've learned on our trips, everything that I've researched, everywhere we've been, things we've seen on the road, etc., those Google Maps that I create, I then create for you, for the Van Fam Tribe community or beyond, and they're available on my website. So basically, the Google Maps, I've pinned family-friendly campsite recommendations, I've pinned the best things to see and do, places to eat, all of those things, they are all available over on our website. And more recently, I've been trying to write travel guides. I'm trying to make it easier for you to just go, for you to just explore. So the idea is you pick up a travel guide, there's a suggested itinerary, but there's also a Google map, so you can see all of the best places, best things for family-friendly for you to do. There's the suggested itinerary there, but you can adapt it based on the needs of your family, and off you go, hopefully. So now I'm going to talk about you and the Van Fam Tribe community. Hands up if you are here for 5.0. Hey! Hey, look at you, lots of you. Lovely, thank you so much for being here. And I hope that those of you that didn't have your hand up will be able to join us at another time. So, actually, I was going through these slides with my mum this morning, and we realised that we actually had our first meetup not in 2022, but actually in 2021. They've all kind of merged now. But anyway, so the Van Tribe community was initially created online, as I've said, bringing together hundreds of families because we understand what it's like to travel with children. Now here, this weekend, we've got little Charlie, I don't think they're here, but he's 4 months old. We've also got Jack, who's about to do his GCSEs. So we've got such a diverse range of families. We welcome you all. We welcome you all. So it started online through a hashtag VanFamTribe, and basically it was a way of trying to connect families together to find other like-minded families to share tips and experience with. Dan and I and the girls would go away in our VWT5. We'd meet these wicked families, and we'd have a really lovely time sharing stories, tips, ideas, inspiration. The kids would love each other, and they'd have the best weekend playing together and making new best friends. You know what it's like. But then the weekend would end, and we would never see them again. And we felt that that time that we had together was so valuable, and it really enhanced our trip. We wanted that more for other families. So we created it online where people can connect together, and it worked wonderfully. And there's some OGs, some originals over in the audience. But then they were like, Amy, we're all getting on so well online. Can you organise us a meetup? Right, okay. So that's exactly what we did. We went to Forest Fields in Mid Wales, a wonderful family-friendly campsite over in Wales, and we had our first meetup. We had 64 vans, and the only way to describe that meetup was magic. And in fact, I was talking to Terry yesterday, and we were talking about it being magic. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, Terry. And she said the only way to experience the magic and to feel the magic is to attend one of the meetups. It is impossible for us to convey the connection that these families have. And I'm not talking about just the families that have met several times previously. I'm talking about the brand new families that have never met another van life family or never been involved in one of our community meetups before. The connection is just magic. Everyone is so welcoming and so friendly, and that is exactly the vision that I had for our community. So, after 2021, which was the 64, and then we had another meetup in 2022. They were all merged. Last year in 2023, everyone had had such a good time and made so many good friends with each other. They were like, Amy, this cannot just be an annual thing. I need to see you again soon. So last year we had 2 meetups, opening it up to more families and more families across the UK, because I deliberately chose 2 locations in 2 very different parts of the UK so that more people could come and join us, which they did. We had over 200 families last year, and this year we've got not 1 but 2 but 3 meetups. This is our 5.0, and we've got 2 others later on, 1 later on this month and 1 in September. Each of the locations that we choose, each of our meetups, offer families something different. Okay, we know that we are all the same in lots of ways. We are all crazy, vanning with our families, but we are all different, and we like different things as well. So that's important to me, that we incorporate variety, let's just say. So for next year, for 2025, who knows? I'm really excited. Well, I kind of know, but I'm really, really excited. I think we offer each other friendship above all else. And we understand what it's like to travel with a family, and we get it. We understand. And being surrounded by like-minded people where you feel like you belong and there is no judgment just makes you feel like you're at home.
is a place where I feel at home.
Okay, so I chose that audio. This is back from our September 2023 meetup, and I chose that audio back then. And I felt like I wanted to just share it with you today. These were some of our families that joined us at Cotswold Farm Park last year. And again, we had another magic meetup. So if you are sitting out there in the audience and you want to get involved in our community, we welcome you, whatever your family looks like. As you can see, we've got a diverse range here. We don't mind what kind of van you've got. We're not particular about any of those things. We are very open and welcome to you all. You can follow us, or follow the community, over on Instagram at VanFam Tribe, and at Facebook. On Facebook, we are there too. Facebook's more of a discussion forum. And of course, the ultimate is to sign up to the mailing list. Okay, you can find the mailing list in the link in the bio on the VanFam Tribe Instagram page. Because there is where all the information is disseminated about future meetups. And I'm very excited and hope that there will be many. So, that's it from me. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. That was amazing. Give her a big cheer.